Over the past few months, Skylin has been making videos and everyone in the comments seems to really appreciate it. If you all remember, Skylin was getting a ton of hate because they were doing similar content to AppMao's newer content. I'll be honest and say that my video is not a good thing to make, and yeah, even though I tried telling everyone not to go bully Skylin, I still didn't do a good enough job at making my point clear. So let's fix that. I want to talk about how Skylin could possibly be a fantastic YouTuber and why there's so much potential. For those of you that don't know, hey, my name's Akira and I talk about things that interest me. And if you like what I do, please consider subscribing and let me know what you thought in the comments below. It would really mean a lot. Alright, so I'm sure we've all seen the video where Skylin no longer wants to be a copycat. I've heard some people say that, oh, you're just copying AppMao again, cause AppMao did the same video to address the situation. And honestly, y'all are kinda mean. Sure, you can argue that, but I still think that was a great step forward and a huge window of possibilities. I mentioned before that you can't really do something new on YouTube anymore because there's so many people doing the same thing. When AppMao started making her roleplays, it sparked a huge wave of others wanting to make their own story and roleplay. Even I was inspired and wrote a few stories of my own. But does that mean we copied AppMao? Honestly, these questions are very tricky, but at the end of the day, we just make what inspires us. And Skylin pretty much did the same thing. Skylin used the same idea, but everything else was deviated. But anyways, let's look at Skylin's videos now. Everything is pretty much the same other than a few key things. Skylin got a few new buddies, so that's pretty cool, and the ideas seem to be different now. Other than that, everything else is pretty much the same, and what that kind of tells us is that nobody really watched the full video or watched the full content, and it seems like they were just complaining about the situations and the similarities. I mean, honestly, I did the same thing, so I can't really talk. So yeah, with a fresh mind, let's take a new look at the content. There's a few things that you need to get right with this type of content. Does it capture my interest in the first 15 seconds or so? Because remember, most people click off on the video by like the first minute or so. So the intro really needs to capture your interest. People like Mr. Peace has kind of got this down to a T, so far, yeah, this beginning segment can really keep your interest and honestly made me laugh a little. I love the little bit of personality you can see from Skylin's friends. It's also not too chaotic, and I'm personally not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's obvious that I'm not the demographic for this type of content, but I do wonder what you all watch. Let me know what type of content you watch in the comments below. Is it more of like the kind of like toned down, like chill style of Skylin videos? Or is it more chaotic and like sporadic with more cuts? I would really like to know, so tell me in the comments below. After the beginning, everything just trails on smoothly. I also have to point out that the way the edits are in the video are honestly really nice. There isn't too much, but when it's needed, it's there and it really does add to the video. The transitions are also really cool. I'm honestly not very good with those, so I can learn a thing or two from this. It's very easy to over-edit with things like this, but it's really helpful to just slow down a little bit and really show off your personality and the wacky adventures you go on. That's something even I have a little bit of trouble with. I tend to over-edit sometimes. Honestly, that's kind of the hardest part on YouTube, and really about these types of videos. You need to come up with not only the idea, but with the adventure and sometimes the story and like the thumbnail and the editing and everything, really. I mean, also just take a look at this map. Someone had to have built this, right? And it looks great! I mean, where do you even go to find maps like this? That's crazy. I think that's the real question, like who makes these? I want one. The editing, the thumbnails, the concept, all of it really does take time. Not only that, but it's also hard just to be entertaining in general. Skylin and friends, I'm not sure what their team is called, their team dynamic, but these group of people really like, they're honestly great. Like I'm not the demographic for this type of content, but even this does keep my attention. So obviously they're doing something right. They just bounce off each other quite nicely and they look like they're all having fun, so that's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, just looking at it, there's a lot of care put into this. There's a lot of other YouTubers that try to do this kind of style, and it really makes sense that you sometimes need to crank these out because like, I can only imagine how hard it is to make these. I do wonder how long it takes to make these types of videos. Skylin doesn't seem to upload too often, and I wonder why. I could definitely see this as a full-time job and uploading like once a week. The quality really shines and there's a ton of support in the comments, and the videos seem to be doing really well when it comes to views, so I don't see why not. Well, wherever you are, Skylin, know that you're doing great and I'm honestly impressed. I really do hope you make it far and continue doing this. And if you're watching this video, then I want to ask you something. I personally really want to do an interview with you. I want to know what your journey has been like on YouTube, and if you had other channels and what your hobbies are, and if you have other passions and want to make other types of content. I would really appreciate if you would do that video with me, so please consider giving me the opportunity. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and let me know what you all thought in the comments below. It's a little bit of a different type of video, but I've been wanting to make this for quite a while, so I really do hope you enjoy it. Also, please consider subscribing and watching my other content. I'm almost at 10k subscribers, and I would really appreciate if you all helped me out. I have a ton of videos planned, so I really do hope to see you all around. Well, I don't really have much more to say. I guess I'll see you all next time. Bye!